Hi, Taurus. This is your reading for the week of July 7th, or when you hear it and it resonates. And of course, this won't be for every Taurus. However, for the group that I'm reading for, this is the message that Spirit gave me. And the image and the phrase is Taurus with the ruby heart. Now, ruby is not a stone I tend to associate with personally. So I looked it up. And it's very connected with the heart chakra. I didn't know that. And the root chakra. It's very much about grounding, and it's very much about clarity and connection to the inner self, to the higher conscious mind, which makes perfect sense because the cards that I pulled were mind, calm focus, and better than, but we'll get to that. Taurus, what I'm feeling, what I started feeling as I was tuning in on your energy, the mind card is really simple and very beautiful, and I think totally apropos for you. The mind is not only the tool with which we interpret the world around us. The mind is our great cosmic cookie cutter, which manifests our world according to its shape and the ingredients we put into it. Taurus, this seems to be something that's been coming up for you quite a bit lately, and that is the idea to pay attention to where your mind is, because by expanding the things you allow yourself to imagine and think about, you can really expand what you create and elevate the frequency of what you create for more fulfillment, joy, and all that good stuff. What we know, Taurus, is that you have a tendency to really be caretakers of people. You want your loved ones and the people you care about to be happy and to be well. And there's really that sense of giving and giving and giving. And what the ruby image for me is, and as I was reading about the spiritual context of it, it's really about connecting to your own heart. And I feel this is super important because this is connecting to your own heart in a way where you get to feel what you need and honor giving to yourself. And that by expanding your mind, the structure of the way you think, or the parameters that you give yourself to think, can you expand that now into really listening to your own heart and really, my goodness, just giving the quality of loving towards yourself that you do to other people? Because the reality is you don't always give yourself enough credit for being who you are, for being the kind of person that you are, for being the kind person that you are. And it doesn't mean you're always kind, of course not. You're human. You have your triggers. We all come with history and baggage that gets triggered in ways that we don't always necessarily like. But what you're being told here, my loves, is that if you can take that beautiful, deliberate Taurian energy and allow yourself to bring all of that energy into a calm focus and use that to say, I'm going to look at where my mind is, what my mind does, where the limits are, and I'm going to expand that. Now, how might you do that? Well, boundaries and barriers, there we go. One of the things that's really helpful, because Taurus you do tend to hang on to things from the past, whether you mean to or not. It's just, again, it's a part of an earthy nature. We tend to concretize around things, which can lead to, of course, neural patterns, etc., which, of course, is going to affect the structure of your thinking. But if you can look back and say, what did I not get? What kind of reinforcement did I not get? What would I have liked to have heard as a child? Though that's a really, really powerful exercise I've used before, and I'm using again around certain issues. And it's like, well, what is the voice, what is the face that has been the guiding force behind you that now limits you from being able to put yourself first? Was there a voice that said, you should have known better, tisk, 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 don't speak up, keep yourself quiet, are you sure they really want you there, different things that were limiting, that were devaluing? Were there people in your life that said, how was your day today? What did you learn? Oh, that's interesting. I don't understand. Can you explain it to me? Was there room? Was there always, give it a shot. What's the worst that'll happen? You'll make a mistake and you'll learn something. Did you have that kind of support in your life that gave you permission to let loose, to take chances, and to be free to do it with an adventurous attitude rather than anxiety or fear? Taurus, you are an earth sign, and in the polarity model, the earth, the root chakra, which is the earth chakra, there is a balance of energy in the emotional field, and the two poles are fear and courage. So, well, what is courage? I think it's courage is acting in the face of fear. But I think part of what the earth signs are really learning now at this time of transition on the planet is to operate beyond fear. Can we take it into a realm of adventure, of joy, of just experience, and appreciate the learning from that without any of the overlay from the past that tells us it should be this way, you should do it this way? Where are you shoulding on yourself? Okay? I feel very much as though this is a time now for you to notice where concepts, beliefs, ideas that you have around what you're allowed to do, around how you speak to yourself, around limiting ideas and beliefs, where you get to look at that and redefine them. I think that's how you give yourself permission to access the buffet that I talked about last week in the reading. And if you haven't listened to some of the other Taurus readings, I would suggest go back and listen to some of them, because it feels to me as though they have been increasingly positive and supportive with rather quite specific guidance on how to open things for yourself and how to do in a way that feels really good. Okay, and here it is. Head over heels. What if you knew that God, and whatever face was challenging you in your mind, was totally adored all of you, even the quirky things or the parts of you that you're unhappy with or critical of? Today, act as though it's true. Act as though each thought and deed delights God. How would it change your opinion of yourself? Your own self-love. And how would it change your perception and relationship of and to the divine? That says it all, I think, Taurus. This really is about the ruby heart, okay? The connecting inward to your self-love, and to be grounded in that in a way only an earth sign can be, okay? My dears, I leave you. Take care. Have a great week.